first, hello. Thanks for even clicking on this. I understand that we're probably going to be posting the same basic message on our Facebook page. But sadly to me, I will not be able to do in-person masses this weekend. When I made my case, 9 out of 10 doctors said, "Are you out of your mind?" The 10th one said, "He is out of his mind." And I really, really couldn't argue. I guess it could be argued that when I made my case, wait for it, I didn't have a leg to stand on. Yeah, I like that sound effect. Good job, you guys. Anyway, actually, the medical folks didn't need to tell me. This week, the pain is just like really ramped up. And well, I guess I could do it, probably. I'm afraid I'd actually be setting my progress back. I hate pain meds, so I've just been taking Advil and Tylenol, and I understand that an increase in pain is to be expected as all my nerves are waking up, whatever. So my niece, Gracie, who's working on her doctorate, was in town the week before surgery. It was so great. We had a chance to catch up, and we created this little sign for my table. It says, "Welcome, I'm fine." Parentheses, I just cut myself shaving. Actually, I am fine. I am. It does really hurt. And sleeping has been kind of tough of late. But this will pass, and I'm just so glad that the surgery was successful. And I'm so grateful for those who've offered any prayers for me. I really appreciate that. And I've got plenty of food. And next weekend, hopefully, I'll be back for in-person masses. I hope. And it is not lost on me throughout this process that there are plenty of people for whom life is just really hard, who know great heartache or pain or diagnoses of terrible kind of diagnoses they're dealing with. And so I just offer this little bit of pain for them, and that's what I can do. Also, God just put it on my heart to offer this little reminder. I mean, I know you know it, but it just matters that we're kind. It just does. And I thank all of you who are kind human beings. I am just so blessed to know you. And finally, the homily you're about to see, if you can stay awake that long, is from about 3 years ago with the same basic readings. I really liked it. It raises a question more important than the who, what, when, where, or why question. I'll let you listen for it, and then you decide, is that really the more important question? Hey, again, just thanks for joining.
Over the years, many journalism majors were encouraged to ask 5 questions about a story. The who, what, where, when, and why questions. Who is driving it? Who benefits? Who loses? What happened? What does this mean for the reader? Where is this taking place? When did it happen? When was the last update? When will the effects be felt? And 5, why did this event take place? Why should the reader care? When it comes to your life calling and to my life calling, those all matter. Who, what, where, when, and why. I'll suggest an even more important question, the question I think matters most to Jesus. I'll suggest it through a prayer that Big Al wrote, a prayer that begins with the question many a kid has been asked. It's called, "What will I be when I grow up?" And it goes like this. What will I be when I grow up? People have asked me. I do not know the answer. There's so much I could be. But there's another question that my dad asks of me. The question is not what, it's how. Tell me how you'll be. He says what matters most, dear God, is not what I will do. It's how I'll live my everyday. Will I be kind like you? Big Al's dad is right. That is the question. How will I live my everyday? How will I live this moment or the next or the next? Oh, it matters very much what we do and why we do it. But those things change. We often don't know where we'll end up or what we'll be doing. How many of us could have predicted that we would be right where we are right now? What mom of young children, for example, whose life is so absorbed with wrangling the never-ending blur of the demands and chaos of parenting young ones, ever pictures herself years later, as happens sometimes, caring for her husband, whose dementia has gotten so bad that he likely needs to be put into a home? For each of us, our life circumstances change. We can't control what life will throw at us. We can't even predict it. But we can and we must decide how we will be during the precious days we have as they are given to us. Today, after calling 12 disciples, Jesus sends them out with a mission. Of course, it would matter what they said, where they said it, why, and when they did so. But perhaps one of the biggest reasons Jesus gave for this odd-sounding coaching about what to bring and not to bring was that he knew that the what, when, where, and why weren't the most important things. What would change the hearts of those to whom this little group preached was how they did it, how they lived, how they were. It's not so much the words the apostles used, though words matter, they never would have alone done it. It's how they did it, their joy, their goodness, the sense of meaning and hope that people could tell they had found that made the difference. It was how they were. So with us, wherever we are at this particular stage of our lives, whether we expect it to be where we are now or not, the main question is the same for us. How are we being as we live these days? For one example about life callings, hopefully, some of our guys here might think about priesthood as a possible way to live your life. I encourage it because it is a great way to pour out your life for this world. Seriously, think about it. Talk to me about it or to Father Leo. But if you ever were to become a priest, please don't be arrogant or selfish. You see, while it matters what you would do as a priest, and it does, It matters most how you would do it. We need kind and humble people to serve in this important role. For everyone, here's the kicker. We might not normally think about this, but it's true. How we live our days determines who we become as human beings. How we live determines who we are. How we live is what will make the most difference in the world. How we live is also what will make the most difference in us. It is how we become who we are now and at the end of our days. This in here that we take with us into the life beyond what we can see. Yep. Sometimes when we were younger, there was this question: what do you want to be when you grow up? Perhaps, however old we are now, it's a question we still ask on some level. Big Al's dad was right. There's another question that my dad asks of me. The question is not what, it's how. Tell me how you'll be. He says what matters most, dear God, is not what I will do, it's how I'll live my every day. Will I be kind like you?